Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the opening day of our coverage of this year's Kazoo World Snooker Championship. Now, such is the global nature of our sport these days that the four players waiting backstage all represent different nationalities. Today, their paths converge for an opportunity to take a step closer to the ultimate title. And wherever they're from, they're guaranteed a great reception, as always, from this brilliant Crucible crowd. Please welcome a player back for a 9th Crucible campaign after a 10-9 thriller against Tepchire Unnu at the qualifiers. Winner of 3 ranking titles, and of course he made the semis here a decade ago. Raise the roof for Ricky Walden. Superb walk-on tune, superb. His opponent, winner of the Championship League at the start of this season, his 3rd ranking title. Making his 6th appearance at the Crucible 11 years after his debut. Raise the roof for the Belgian bullet, Luca Brecel. And now to a player emerging for the biggest match of his life. Hopefully he'll use the correct staircase. After a superb comeback at the qualifiers, here he is. What a moment and what a debut for China's teenage sensation, Wu Yiza. And finally, to a player who has amassed 23 ranking titles since his arrival from Australia just over 2 decades ago. It's his 19th consecutive Crucible appearance. 3 times a UK champion, twice a Masters champion, and winner of the big one here in 2010. Can you hear the thunder from down under? He's Neil Robertson.
Okay, thank you. The first frame, Luca Brecel to break.
And Luca Brecel gets this first round match underway. And you could say, I'm glad to be joined by Sean Murphy in the commentary box, but changing fortunes. I was looking, he's ranked number 10 this year, is Luca. Best ranking was 9. But in 2015, Ricky Walden was seeded number 6.
Well, good afternoon, JV. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I think this match could be very, very difficult to predict because both of these players are extremely capable on their day, and if they get up ahead of steam, can really score with the best in the world. So I think this match is, for me, hinges on who can get the advantage in the tactical exchanges. And I'm not sure who that favours.
Yeah, I suppose you would say on current form you'd have to favour Luca, but we know what a talent Ricky Walden is. Caught that safety a bit too thick, but the blue's going to come to his rescue. And of course it's the blight of a lot of snooker players' life. They pick up injuries. You don't hear of it much because it's kept to themselves, but Ricky has had problems with his back over the years. But hopefully now he's back in good health and ready to perform. But a very interesting head-to-head this.
It's always nice for the first frame of your first match at the World Championships just to settle into the game, just to, a bit like tennis, just hit a few shots to each other and have a bit of a rally before one of you pots the ball and kicks the game off, really. Just helps you settle down, these early exchanges. Bit of a problem here for Luca. He can't access the left-hand side of the cluster of reds, and that red near the right-hand corner pocket is potable, but fraught with danger with the red over the middle pocket. And he's played that nicely. Lots of left-hand check side on the cue ball there to straighten the cue ball up off the black cushion. Tap on the table there from Ricky signifies that he's in a bit of a hole here. I think he can hit the red that's near the left middle pocket, maybe even enough to attempt to pot it, but that's extremely difficult. Bending the cue ball around the yellow to hit the red near the black spot.
Well, he swerved it too much, and catching that red near the left middle, full in the face. Gives the first decent potting chance to Luca. And nicely in the centre of the pocket, nice and solid, and control the cue ball well. Now an opportunity in potting this, just cannon the red just above it and leave yourself on the black for the opposite corner. Well, he decided against that. Wouldn't have been my choice, to be honest with you, but blue, I suppose you're a bit unfortunate the blue won't go to the left middle, but I'd like an opportunity to play for the black, get the black on its spot. He's got the pink, second choice.
$13. $14.
Well, what a mistake that was, to leave the cue ball behind that red. Now, this black's missable. Straight in the heart of the pocket. Good signs early from Luca Brecel this afternoon.
No spot available for the black, so he went as close as he can in a direct line with the top cushion, as close to its own spot as it can go, not touching
21.
the pink. So basically that
22.
tells us that the black is going to be available.
$27. 28.
There you see our database of information at the bottom of your screens there. Luca Brecel yet to win a match here at the Crucible, which is a bit of an amazing stat. Feels like he's been around forever. He's still a very
33.
young man, of course. I think I'm right in saying that he still is the youngest player to ever play here.
34.
But amazing that he's yet to get through the last 32 stage of the World Championship. Maybe this will be his year.
Let's misjudge that, but if this red just below and to the right of the pink passes the black,
39.
it's not all bad. Maybe it doesn't, but maybe there's another red to the left middle. Yeah, another
40.
good clean pot. Just the start you'd be looking for.
$46. 47.
Average shot time during this break of just 17 seconds. He's really getting on with things, and what a start this is. Been a bit lucky with a couple of shots, has to be said, but great start this to the match. So nice if you can just get out there and play like you're just playing in
54.
your practice room. It's so hard to do. It's so easy to say, but this is a cracking start to the match for Luca Brecel.
55.
This pink, and depending on the colour he takes off the next red, determines whether he needs just a red and a colour, or you'll need two reds. So
61.
red and a colour. This pink would put him
62.
68 points ahead with just 67 remaining. The perfect start. Will be made better with a ton.
68. $69. $76.
Yeah, he's cued really well here. I mean, that shot there, for example, he got through the ball beautifully and run around off two cushions.
77.
Just seems to be waltzing around the table, stop, bang a ball in and carry on.
Yeah, it's the secret, isn't it, to playing well, particularly here. And, you know, it's always the argument for the player coming into this tournament to, you know, do you prepare for this tournament differently? It is just so different to all the others. Even the other two events in the Triple Crown Series, this one stands
83.
alone, and Luca's just got on with it.
84.
Going to need a couple more good shots here to get the century, though. Not easy to get close to the next red from the pink. The best he could do.
$90.
Just overcut it.
Luca Brecel, 90 in the
Just
frame.
the start he'd be looking for. And the Belgian bullet leads 1-0.
The second frame, Ricky Walden to break.
Ricky Walden gets us away in frame 2. It's not a great break off, hasn't had an attempt at a pot yet. From where we left off in the first frame.
1.
Yeah, just a little bit close to the cushion for comfort. He's got a thin cut on the blue. He's got the yellow where he wouldn't have to dig down too much. Let's dig down for the brown. And as they did in the first frame, going right in the heart of the pocket. Always a good feeling for a player.
5. Six.
Oh, he's played that inch perfect on the red next to the black. Judge that to perfection.
11. 12.
You'd like to have another go at that one, though.
Yeah, that was careless, wasn't it? If you have one criticism of Luca, he has a tendency to do that. There's no need to be hampered there. And it's cost him. It's cost him. No excuse for being hampered. Just need a little bit of extra thought.
One.
That was a nice pot for the first pot of the tournament for Ricky Walden. And it looks like he's got the angle on the pink to get to one of those two loose reds. Saw Ricky this morning in the practice room. He was working hard on his game.
7.
Putting in some more time. Last minute prep for this afternoon's session. He could, if he wanted to, play the red that's directly above the pink. And in doing so, smash the reds open, but he's choosing to play this one with the extended spider. You don't see this very often.
Thanks. 8.
Yeah, and he'd like the cue ball to finish up exactly where it was before. To play that red that's separated from the main bunch. But he's overhit it. He still have, when he pots this, he'll make the other red available, but
14.
very soon he's going to have to start thinking about playing the cannon.
15.
So coming round, and this one loose red, maybe leave yourself low on it, and in potting it you can cannon into the black and the other reds.
Well, you can see the pink only just reached the pocket there. That was dead weight,
21.
wasn't it? And I'm not sure he's got the angle on this red to pot it and move the pack much at all.
Twenty-two.
The perfect angle on the pink now to play this in top spin. And you always play this with a touch of right hand side. And the trick here is not to hit the cue ball as high as you would think. Too much top spin and you'll miss the pack. Look on Ricky's face there as he walked around the table tells me he's not on anything. Don't think this red close to the cue ball goes into the right middle pocket. Bit unlucky there if he's not on a red. Couldn't have really
28.
played that shot much better. Yeah, you can see that's obviously blocked. He was unlucky really because that red was available till the loose red came and blocked its path.
Yeah, it just caught up with him, didn't he? A couple of times the loose reds he had, he could have finished nicer and he could have played the cannon, and it was sort of risk-free, if you like, but leaving it till the last minute. And couldn't open them up advantageously.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know if when he played the shot with the extended spider, if he'd played the other red that I mentioned at the time and split the reds there and then, we'll never know what would have happened in that situation, but we know what happened.
Ricky Walden, 28.
The way Ricky chose to do it, and fortunately from his perspective he only scored 28 from that opportunity. Ricky made 34 centuries last season. He's made 345 in his career so far, but he's only made 18 this season, and that perhaps tells its own story.
I bet he thought that was in from that distance. It was so close. I bet he thought he caught that just right.
Nice shot from Luca. It's always been the problem, JV, hasn't it? When you play shots that are thin like the one Ricky did and you get so close, the red usually stays over the pocket. And he got the kiss on the green, so everything that could go wrong for Ricky there did. And there's not a ball safe here, so all things being
7.
equal, you wouldn't bet against Luca winning the frame at this visit.
8.
Now, is the pink spot available? No. Well, that suits Luca down to the ground.
14.
So a couple of precise positional shots. And we have a new favourite for this frame.
50.
Just incredible though, like the shot before on the pink, as we said before, when his first visit to the table in this frame. Just careless positional shot. Should never have had to play for the blue. Just what we call the snowball effect. He was out of position 2 shots ago. It got worse the previous shot, and now he's further from this red than he should be.
20.
Reaching for the extension on his cue, so he doesn't have to use the rest.
21.
Situation well though. Not perfect on this pink.
Yeah, but seems now just one good positional shot away from a comfortable frame clinching contribution. And if he's straight on this red, that's it. Of course,
27.
the red he potted that was occupying the pink spot. It shouldn't cause a problem though. Just stun this in for the pink into the left middle. Well, he didn't fancy that little delicate
28.
shot. Or maybe the pink isn't available. But he's got the right side of the blue, so no problem.
$33. $34.
23 points in front when he pots the blue. So, red, colour red required.
39. $40.
Well, he went up for the blue again, but he's finished inch perfect. And doesn't look like Ricky Walden's going to get back
45.
to the table now.
$46.
Had his chance. Okay, he can reflect
51.
on thinking I was a little unlucky, but he had a couple of chances. If he'd have got low on a couple of reds, he could have played the opening of the other reds risk-free.
53.
And it's cost him in the end.
56. $60. 65. $71.
Ricky Walden was in first, he only scored 28. Ricky Brecel responds with 78 and he extends his lead to 2 frames to 0.
Quietly as you can, please.
Frame 3, Luca Brecel to break.
Well, that's okay. I mean, we always say if you don't leave a pot on off your break-off shot, you're happy with that. Well, he's left in a position where Ricky can't hit any reds.
Do you know, it's a funny one, JV, because I actually think that the fashions are changing
Foul
with the
and a
break-off.
miss. Luca Brecel,
See
4.
that cue ball.
Back.
Not reach the pack. You know, it was always the case, wasn't it? You play the break-off to leave the cue ball on the cushion behind the yellow or the green. But I think it's changing. I notice so many players on the tour now.
Okay.
You think they've overhit the break, and they run in behind the green like Luca has here. And it's happening so often. I don't think it's a mistake.
Foul and a miss. Luca Brecel, 6. Back.
Yeah, well, that's the only way you're going to get cover, or guaranteed cover. It is risky, of course, because if you don't sneak up behind the green or the yellow, you're going to leave your opponent with his hand on the table. Meanwhile, Ricky's making a bit of a mess of this escape. I know he doesn't want to slide off them, but you know, it's the first 2 attempts not been very good. Got it right 3rd time.
Yeah, they say you never settle until you get that first frame on the board, and I think in this room at the Crucible Theatre, I think that's even more so the case. Doesn't matter who you are and how many times you've been here and what your record here is like. Until there's a number next to your name on the scoreboard, you don't feel like you're involved. Big mistake from Ricky Walden. Caught that red much too thin. Cue ball cannoning into the other reds by mistake. Had he got nearer the pot, he wouldn't have hit that second red.
A little bit fortunate he's left Luca hampered by the main bunch, so, and obviously it's been given as a touching ball, so he can just fire away and find that port cushion. Not quite. Now, how does Ricky play this? Does he play the thickish contact? If he does, he needs a good cue ball, or the thin one. It's a thin one, too thin. Where's the red ball going? Where's the red ball going? You can't beat a bit of luck.
Unbelievable slice of luck there for Ricky Walden. If you set that shot up, you'd be there for weeks trying to do that. And this is a great shot. Very unlucky. A lot of creativity to play that shot that way. Not many would have played the one cushion cannon.
6.
Most players would have played this with right-hand side, cue ball going the other way, but left-hand side there, bringing the cue ball back through brown and green. And have those 2 reds just above the black formed a plant? They have. Not all is lost here at this visit.
Yeah, you can't get through to them directly. And the fact that they're close together just makes it a little bit awkward. He'd have to play 1 red onto the plant. But as we always say, when they're touching, you can squeeze it one way or the other. He's got to catch that first red of the 2 together, full in the face. Otherwise, he could just turn it round. Anyway, he's taking it on. Oh, he played a cannon. to play it, but the problem is, and as I always say, like when you see players trying to open balls up, if you hit that first red full in the face, it's like hitting a brick wall. But he feels as though he can just get through to cut this black in. The reds are open. It's not without risk. Well played.
Yeah, this was fraught with danger, wasn't it? If he
14.
misses that, he leaves everything.
Thank you, the first round.
And having not got a frame on the board yet, that was really well played. He was staring 3-0 in the face if he'd missed that. Not out of the woods though yet. This red to the right corner is awkward to miss the cannon on the reds by the pink and get to a colour. This needs a bit of thinking about. Yeah, nicely controlled. Had to play it dead weight
15.
pace to miss the cannon. And now, a proper chance now to settle into this match and win this frame here at this visit and send a message to your opponent that you're here to play too.
20. 21. $28. 29.
Play for the blue, but just overrun it slightly. It shouldn't cause a problem. Green, play for the red to the left middle.
$32.
A big part of Ricky Walden's game is based on how long it takes him to adapt to the playing conditions of the day. Chiefly because unless the shot
33.
is straight, he never hits the middle of the cue ball. On purpose, that is. He's what we call a shaper. He plays everything with run inside. So if it's a left to right shot, he'll play it with left hand side. And if it's a right to left, he plays it with right. So if he doesn't quite get used to the way the table's performing, it can take him a while to get into a match. But when it works, goodness me, it can be devastating.
Played that nicely.
38.
I don't know whether he can run through and hole for the black. He can go up for the blue, obviously. And that was the choice, but he's
39.
underhit it. Well, because that red's adjacent to the blue, he can just stun the blue in and won't be too far away from the next red. But it's getting to that stage of the visit now where he's thinking about
44.
winning it. So a couple of good positional shots needed.
45. Sure.
Well, Ricky just asking our referee, Paul Collier,
50.
to give the cue ball a clean. He felt that was a heavy contact. You don't see many of those these days since pretty much all the players, bar a couple, have switched to different chalk. The kick and all of that has become a thing of the past, really. But that did come off the cushion slower than he intended. And that's just ruined things here. Now he can obviously pop this red, but controlling the cue ball for position on a colour, not straightforward.
Ta. 51.
Yeah, controlled it nice, but still not out of the woods. It's not unnatural just to pot the black and be on the next red. And particularly on these super fine cloths, you don't really want to be playing with a lot of side.
Yeah, it just
Ricky
snowballed on him,
Walden,
didn't he? Ran out
51.
of position and couldn't recover it. He played this with left and centre striking, pushed the cue ball off to his right and missed the black fin. That's what I was talking about earlier on in the break. The longer it takes him to adapt to the playing conditions with side spin will dictate how long it takes him to settle into this match. Does this red pass the blue? Well, it did. And he couldn't have got much closer without that going in. Has he covered it? I think Luca thought that was in. I did as well. And he hasn't got the cover.
And it'd be a mighty relieved Ricky Walden knocks that red in. Okay, he still needs a few more reds after this colour, but if he'd have lost the frame after missing the black, it would have been a real body blow. But chance to put that behind him. One good positional shot required. Worth playing a little cannon on the pink and the reds, you think, Sean?
Well, it's not straightforward, is it, to get to that red that's in open play? If he plays the green, you're really going to have to spin this.
Four.
Well, I'm assuming the red passes the black. In which case he's underhit that by a good foot.
Yeah, and even so, he's going to need another red. And I mean, I know it was a little bit of risk playing off the green, but he had the angle on the green to play the cannon. Ooh, well, it did pass the black, or it would have done.
Ricky Walden, 4.
So another good chance gone.
Well, Luca will be relieved to get back to the table, but slightly put out that Ricky knocked the black safe and didn't leave anything easier than this. Oh, he struck that very well. To get top side of the blue from there, that is excellent. You know, it's very thin on the blue, but he could play the cannon, pop the blue and cannon the pink here. That would open everything up. If he chooses not to, that's fine, but he will have to play the cannon at some stage.
Three.
Played that nicely as well. Now, if you could just run this in off the side cushion, top side of the blue. Leave a nice angle to disturb that little cluster of reds by the pink.
Yeah, can't get top side of the blue, so you're going to have to leave it low. And then come in and out of ball, so it needs to be very precise. Lots of right-hand side here. Just missed the green, ball cushion, side cushion. Don't have to play it too hard. Give the chance for the side to take effect. Not enough.
Nine.
Well, 36 points behind, 51 remaining. Black is safe, but that's not really relevant to either player. So despite the point difference, this frame in the balance, what Ricky Walden would give to have the yellow or green on a cushion.
Luca Brecel 9.
I'm not sure if Ricky can get through to the red directly to the right of the pink, but if he can, might be a good idea to play that and knock the pink to the side cushion. Try and take out some form of insurance here to protect against this lead. And yeah, that's what he played. Now he's just bounced the pink a bit much off the cushion, but it's made it more awkward than it was.
Needs the yellow to come to his help, and I don't think it has. Or has it? It's all about fractions. Oh, and he's just got the cover. May just be able to bend it with a touch of right-hand side to pot this red. He's got to play it.
An excellent shot. Pressure on that one. You called it right, JV. Needed a bit of right-hand side just to get round the yellow. Straight in the middle of the pocket. Now a quick look at the scoreboard here. 37 points ahead, 43 on. So just choosing which colour to put on a cushion. Love the cue ball tight as well, but object ball safe's the name of the game here.
Ricky Walden 1.
Well played.
Quietly, please.
And that will be the end of this frame. So he's needed a few chances as Ricky, but he'll just be relieved to get that frame by his name.
One.
Back to the fourth round. 2 meters to go.
Six.
Now, 43 points
Ricky Walden
difference,
6.
35 remaining. Well, you wouldn't expect Luca to pot this red, but for Snookers, Ricky Walden has got his first frame on the board.
I tell you what, this isn't as easy as it looks to hit. Doesn't look difficult to come across the side cushion and back the way the red went and hit the red, but this is awkward. Wouldn't want to do anything silly here and hit the black or something on the way back past and get the angle wrong. Very well judged. Had to play that with extreme amounts of right-hand side to change the angle of the cue ball off the cushion. As you see here on the replay, the cue ball checks up, comes back, nearly went in off but didn't. As well. What a lovely shot, well controlled from Luca Brecel. That shot will keep all the billiards players happy, JV.
Yeah, the old little drop cannon. There is room around this red, believe it or not. But that's a good hit.
There's just lots of stressful energy being spent here by Ricky, isn't there? If he just, when he was at the table before, potted the red and the blue, and if he just made sure of the last red, we'd already be into frame 4 here, but these are anxious moments for Ricky Walden.
Yeah, 43 points is a couple of snookers, but if Luca could get a snooker and a free ball, then one snooker would be sufficient. But the colour you'd be looking at is either the brown or the black. Something that's close to a cushion so you can get real tight behind it and cut off the one cushion escape.
Bit of deja vu about this shot. No chance of running into the black here off the side cushion, and be very unlucky to going off, but this isn't easy to hit, as we said before. Oh, well judged again. I wonder if Luca will try the delicate one in behind the blue.
Yeah, and he
Frame
didn't get the
conceded. Frame
snooker,
Ricky
so
Walden.
it's Ricky was walking past you and yep, and he said, yep, he'll take it quite gladly. First frame on the scoreboard for Ricky Walden. Trails 2-1.
Quietly, please.
Frame 4, Ricky Walden to break.
More of a traditional finish with the cue ball there from Ricky Walden, leaving the cue ball by the cushion, kind of in line with the yellow. Luca trying to hide in the pack somewhere. Oh, he's played for the red near the black. Well judged. See the pot success of both players. 95% for Luca Brecel and 88 for Ricky. 67 versus 80 on the long pot success. Very early days in the match, of course. Average shot time, Ricky a bit slower at 24. Versus Luca's 17 seconds. Of course, Luca's had breaks of 90 and 78, so that always helps with your shot time when you're in the ball scoring. Positional success pretty close, 83 v 89. Having led 2-0. Certainly Ricky's choice of refreshment at the interval will taste that little bit sweeter. If he were to win this frame and come out of this mini session 2 frames apiece, you always split these best of 19s into little groups of frames, and the trick is to not lose a little session. If you could do that, you'd be the winner come the end of the fortnight.
Yeah, it's 17 days, but Sean doesn't start his campaign until Wednesday, so it's a fortnight.
It's a 12-day tournament for me.
Well, I assume that was just a long way off.
Yeah, this is just played with left-hand side. Cue ball's pushed offline way more than he thought. Hit the red far too thick and nearly doubled it in the yellow pocket. Well, that's a nice starter from Ricky Walden.
1.
Nice chance here to build up a few points and possibly win this 4th frame. And as I say, get to the interval, no damage done at 2 frames apiece. Played each other on 5 occasions, these two.
7.
Luca Brecel does head up the head-to-heads, 3-2. Ricky did win their most recent contest, last year's German
8.
Masters. He beat Luca 5-2. And I'm not sure whether this will prove important or not, but they've only played once over this distance. And Ricky did run out the winner that time, 10-6.
15.
In the same round of this tournament in 2018. So I'm not sure how significant that'll be. But we'll find out.
16.
That's worked out nice. And he's just sprung a few more
23.
reds into play.
24.
A little bit disappointed he didn't get a better angle on the pink.
$30.
So in the end, leaving himself this red. So you got to be pretty confident with the rest. And if he had his hand on the table, you think, well, he could roll this through for the black. But I think when you're using the rest, you'd rather put a bit more pace, get the cue through a bit firmer. But I don't think it's a straightforward screw back for the pink. He's playing the run through. Good shot. Very
31.
good. With the rest, top draw.
little bit unfortunate there. It's slightly awkward queuing for this red underneath the
38.
pink spot. I think he might just be able to get to the middle of the cue ball, but not straightforward. Yeah, in the end he chose to play the other red.
39.
He could cue that one a bit more easily. And I can say all this, that before we as a family moved to Dublin 5 or 6 years ago, I used to live in Manchester, and Ricky's not too far away. He was one of my regular practice partners. And when he builds up a head of steam, as he's starting to here, he is devastatingly good.
45.
Coming around the pink and the black.
46.
He can reel off frame-winning break after frame-winning break as good as anybody.
Yes, a very natural player is Ricky. And he just scrapes over the line in the last frame. Spawned a couple of good chances. And you sort of worried that if he'd have lost that frame, he could have been in the doldrums.
52.
But if you can win this frame now at one visit, and a good break it's been so far, then as
53.
Sean said, he'll go to the interval feeling an awful lot better, and you have to say full of confidence. Just shows you how one frame that could have gone either way. He'd have been really disappointed if he'd have lost the last frame, but he managed to scrape over the line. And just a few pots now from levelling the match going into the interval. Such a psychological game, the snooker, isn't it? Between the ears, you know, you
60.
grab hold of every little positive you can. And this will be a positive for Ricky.
61.
Well, as I said earlier on, I saw Ricky in the practice room this morning, and he was giving an interview to our reporter Abigail Davis, and he was saying that confidence is his thing. You know, at the moment, that's what he sort of rides, the wave of confidence, or if he's feeling a bit low,
68.
he finds it hard to get out of that. And of course, we're all the same, and you can just spark off anything.
69.
It looks like that winning that third frame is just giving him that boost. He doesn't want the interval now. He'd love to stay out there.
No heroics there because he knew that black was frame ball. 76 points to lead.
76.
Just 67 remaining. And if he pots this, no way back to the table for Luca Brecel. So having lost the
77.
first two frames, Ricky Walden will be well pleased with what he's produced, particularly in this frame.
$83.
Yeah, good little break building shot that. He wanted to play the other red, but
84.
he wants to use that red that's closest to the cue ball next. And when he pots it, he'll move the red nearest the middle pocket. Clever little shot. You see, he left the angle on this red now. He can pump it in, cushion first, and knock the red nearest the middle pocket into
90.
open play. Possible 1-4-1 here.
91.
We're going to need something special for the century here, JB.
97.
These reds are very missable.
Yeah, it just seemed like a little heavier contact than he expected on the pinks. But if he pots the red, he should be on pink or black. He's potted the red. Well, he's on the black.
98.
Literally.
Pink ball. Ricky Walden, 98
Well, it
on the
wasn't to be,
frame.
but that fabulous break of 98 together with the third frame gets Ricky Walden level at the interval. It's 2 frames apiece.
Thank you. Frame 5, Luca Brecel to break.
Luca Brecel gets the first frame after the mid-second interval underway. Another 5 to play. That's how they divide them up, these first round matches of best of 19. 9 the first session. Possible 10 in the second. These first round matches, of course, best of 19. Always looked a tricky one to pick the winner here, and I'm no wiser.
As always, it'll be interesting to see what effect, if any, the interval has had on this match. It was all Ricky Walden in frames 3 and 4. Momentum had definitely shifted. I'm not sure if either player visited the practice room during the 15-minute break. But if you'd asked Ricky before the interval, did he want to stop, he definitely would have said no.
They are. Knows the game backwards.
Not sure that Ricky can get through to the red, to the left-hand side cushion. That's the red that's causing a couple of problems here. Just because you know if you don't cover it, you leave your opponent an easy chance to put you in trouble by using it. But I think Ricky has snookered Luca on it. Can Luca get through the gap of yellow and brown? Well, he could, and there you see it. Use the red as I suggested, and the cue ball close to that cushion makes this return very difficult.
Nice little flick off the green there. If it had caught the green anything thicker, he'd have left this red on. Oh, well, that's a good shot from Luca. Okay, he might say, well, he's not found the ball cushion, but needed a good contact there and got it. But with his hand on the table, you'd expect Ricky to play a more telling safety. Find that ball cushion. Cue ball's in the pocket. So he can take advantage of having his hand on the table.
Yeah, he just completely misjudged the throw of the cue ball here. It swerved on its way to the red with right hand side. Didn't hit the red thick enough and went in off the pocket. He was trying to get in behind the green. It was a very aggressive shot Luca could play here. Similar to a break-off off one of the reds underneath the pink. This will send the reds everywhere. Has he fluked one? No, he has.
One.
Didn't know anything about this. That's the risk when you play the thick safety. You don't know where the reds are going to go. He got a good cue ball. Delighted to see that red drop in, though. But now, be a brave man that played the pot on the brown. This roll up to the green isn't straightforward either. Well, played that well.
Luca Brecel, 1.
Excellent shot. Saw that shot played this morning by Dave Gilbert and got it wrong. It cost him that frame against Stuart Bingham. So you see those shots, those little roll-ups do go wrong from time to time.
If he was by nestling up to this red, he'll have another goal because he's not hard enough
Foul.
on the
And a
wrong
miss.
line.
Luca Brecel,
But
full.
he felt by nestling up to that red, closest to the cue ball now, he's not going to leave anything. Well, what has Luca spotted? Assuming nothing would pass the black. Otherwise, why would Ricky have played that shot? Well,
One.
it's a double whammy.
Yeah, I guess Ricky would be thinking that if he'd have made contact with the intended red, he wouldn't have left that red, but it's always a good idea to think about what happens if I get this shot wrong. Luca there played for the red above the black. He's
8.
underhit it by some distance. Didn't play for this red to the middle.
9. $14.
Wouldn't be a terrible idea here for Luca next time he gets top side of the blue to play the cannon into the pink and try and bring it into play. And it's going to be difficult to win this frame with just blues, pink and black tied up. Bit too far up the table this time, but
15.
better to be too long than too short.
Now, if he's got
17.
the angle on this red, he may be able to nudge the pink into play here. And the reds that are just below it. Got to be careful with position. Well, he didn't move the pink.
18.
Wrong side the blue, but with that red being adjacent to the right middle, shouldn't cause a problem to come in and out of balk.
Yeah, well, he's played that nicely.
23.
But that's twice now he's been in position on the blue to play the cannon to the pink or black and chose not to play it. As I say, he will have to do it at some stage because you can win the frame with blues, of course, but it's very difficult. He's
24.
just crept the right side of the blue. But you get the sense this is getting more difficult, not easier. He struck that well. What a shot that was.
29.
Well, he has an angle to play a cannon into the black, but that would be risky, so just potting this one will clear a path for the black into this left corner pocket.
30.
Still not going to be available. It's the red to the right of the black that's tying it up, but if he can remove that red at some time, the black does now go to the left corner. Now,
35.
has he got the angle to play a little cannon now on that red to the right of the black? He's playing it. Big shot this. Played it well.
36.
Now it's a frame winning opportunity.
Well, that really was excellent because he saw that opportunity 3, 4, maybe 5 shots ago. Worked his route out and how to get to that
43.
red to play the cannon. And as you say, JV, having released the black, this is now a proper chance to win this frame at this visit.
44.
Two reds just below the pink. I don't think the left-hand one of the two goes to the right corner, but I think it goes to the left middle. He's got a nice angle on the blue to direct the cue ball any which way he likes. Yeah, there you see that red, the left-hand one of the two, goes to the left middle, so he could play for it. Well, decided to play for one of these reds at the bottom. Just about on it.
49.
8.
50.
Just caught that red a little bit thinner than he needed to, but the cue ball stopped in time. Let's get into that point now. One more good positional shot, and that will be frame over. Just the red
54.
required to get 64 points in front with just 59 remaining.
$55.
Yeah, he's made the most of this opportunity, Sean, hasn't he? He's played these really well.
Yeah, this has been excellent, I have to say, particularly having lost all momentum before the interval. This has been an excellent response.
62.
Didn't look like there was this break on when he came to the table.
63.
This has been first class.
$70. 71.
We're going to see the first century of this match. Both players looking like they're in excellent form. I said earlier they're hard to separate.
76.
And they're showing that.
77.
Fancy the ton now. Couldn't have played it better. What a visit this has been.
84. 85.
Obviously too straight on the pink, so a little bit of work to do off the blue. Break goes to 90.
90.
Oh, well, what a shame.
Brecel 90. And the frame.
Wasn't a century, but he'll be pleased. He's back in front. 3-2.
Thank you. Frame 6, Ricky Walden to break.
Frame 6 underway. It's been a very good match so far. Good standard on display from both players, both in the 90s with the pot success. 96 for Luca and 92 for Ricky. Both made frame winning breaks. And this cue ball's close.
Foul. Luca Brecel, full.
He would have been trying to get the cue ball near the corner pocket, but not that near.
Yeah, and he was forced into playing that full. He didn't want to hit a half ball because the red could have run into the green. Chance of a long pot though. And got it.
One.
So first chance, Luca Brecel.
Eight. Nine.
He's just underhit that by 6 or 7 inches, so he did have a look at the red to the yellow pocket. Considered potting it to retain black ball position. We all know what he was thinking about there, but probably a bit early for that type of thing. Oh, but that's careless to run into the yellow. That really is.
14.
He wishes he'd played the red to the yellow pocket now. What a shot that is.
15.
He's some potter, this player. Hard to believe he hasn't won a match here, isn't it, JV? Incredible stat that. The way he plays. Pots balls from all over the place.
22.
Of course, in the main, he's coming here as a qualifier, and you never know who you're going to get when you play the top 16. You know, you're never in for an easy game. I think he's improved over the last few seasons, though. Got a good safety game now.
That was a lovely controlled cannon. Any contact on that red left him at least 2
30.
shots at reds. Looks like he's choosing the red to the left middle. That red underneath the pack is a great red to use to split the reds, but he's choosing not to do that at the moment. Lots of players would.
31.
And it does certainly look like the
36.
interval has changed the momentum in this match again. Early days, of course, in a race to 10, but momentum has shifted 2 or 3
37.
times in this match already. Ricky hasn't scored a point since they resumed, since his 98 break in the 4th. Can't do anything from your chair, but be patient.
$44.
Good pot needed now to keep this visit going. I decided to play it into the middle. Oh, the bump of the middle pocket. Is it a help or a hindrance? It's a help.
45.
Although having said that, a bit thinner on the black than he would have liked. Don't know whether he can play a little cannon on the bottom of the cluster. If you're going to try this, you've got to play it softly to give chance for the backspin to take effect, or play it hard and come in and out of balk. But got to avoid the yellow. Got to avoid the brown as well. Just one hurdle too many.
52.
Yeah, in a funny way, I think he'll still get this red though. He can have a free crack at it. The yellow's waiting.
Luca Brecel, 52.
Well, having missed it by such a distance, the cue ball mistakenly hit the knuckle of the pocket, and it's left Ricky Walden a chance that he wouldn't have been thinking he would get. It's not straightforward.
Yeah, once again you see the disadvantage of being near the cushion. If he was away from the cushion, he could wind the angle on this. But he can only hit the top of the cue ball, and depends on the potting angle. Can he run through, get position?
One.
Well, he managed to find the gap between the pink and the red, but it's not ideal because there's no red available just by potting the colour. He needs to play a cannon of some description, and I can't see which one it will be.
What would you say here, John? There's almost an argument to be made for not playing a pot here. There's no advantage really to potting a colour.
No.
And having to move the red yourself. Maybe let your opponent move the reds.
Yeah, and I think that's why he's gone to the balk end and look where he'd like to leave the cue ball.
Bramble.
He's trying to sneak in behind the yellow here.
Yeah,
Ricky Walden, 1.
not sure about that.
Well, I think the brown's helped it though, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I think I would have preferred a situation where my opponent could see the
On the
reds.
left side, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think he can, and
Look here.
he's going to have to play the good safety. He's going to open all these reds up. Ooh, well, can he just get past the pink for a thin edge? He could. This frame, although Ricky Walden's 55 points behind, still in the balance somewhat. If he gets next chance of a pot, Ricky, he could get right back in it.
Yeah, he's played this nicely. Excellent pace on the cue ball. And Luca faced with a situation here where he can clearly hit the reds under the pink, and the one nearest the black is possible. But you know, if you go for it and miss it, bring the cue ball back to where you are, you know you're going to leave the red to the right hand corner pocket. Well, that's an excellent shot. Little tap on the table from Ricky to appreciate it. Purposely played between the blue and green to get the cover on the red, as I mentioned. That was an excellent shot from Luca Brecel. Completely up to Luca what he wants to do here. He doesn't need to go for anything here. There's a great shot on. He could play the red that's nearest the brown into the pink. The cue ball would go side cushion, baulk cushion, and perhaps in behind the yellow. That might knock the pink safe as well. Big percentage of him will want to go for this red to the yellow pocket or the one to the green pocket. That 55-point lead could evaporate very quickly.
Well, he's given a half chance here to Ricky. And I've got to be honest with you, I didn't see the necessity to give him this half chance. It's all about this shot though. Cued it nicely. Just need a bit more of a bounce off the top cushion. The black's still potable. Straighter would have been better. Good opening red though.
27.
Well, if he's not on this red to the right middle pocket, that's very unlucky.
8.
I don't think he is. I think he'd have been playing it by now. That wasn't an easy pot or a cannon. He'd love to come off this cushion, get in behind the yellow.
35.
Excellent shot.
Ricky Walden, 8.
Yes, and of course, Luca got the red near the left-hand side cushion, so he won't want to be disturbing that. That was his little bit of insurance. Well, he'd have been happy to see that thin cut, although a lot of pace, but not left anything easy.
Trying to get in behind the yellow here. Like a break-off style shot.
I don't like the line of this cue ball. Where's it going?
Foul. Luca Brecel, full.
Oh, that's a massive mistake from Ricky Walden. That was such a big target to get in off 3 cushions in behind the yellow. He's furious with himself as we see the cue ball dropping in. Ricky now has to sit there in his chair and hope Luca misses this long red. He's crunched it into the back of the pocket. Excellent long red from Luca Brecel. 88% on his long pots. That's very, very good. This black could put him 59 points ahead with 67 remaining, so just one more red, and you've got that loose red over the middle pocket, as you can see. He played that wonderfully well. Didn't he strike that well with left-hand side screw back?
8. Nine.
So he's got his 2-frame advantage back. I'll say that. I thought there was only one red on the left-hand side of the table. There's 2.
15.
One was camouflaging the other. No, it's not quite over yet.
Luca Brecel, 15.
66 points the difference. But there's 67 remaining.
Foul.
Oh, that brown going in makes
Ricky Walden, 4.
a little bit of difference.
Another chance for Luca to put this frame to bed. Nice crisp long red to this corner pocket. Ricky's last couple of visits to the table, he's manipulated all the reds into open play. £62 points the difference. 59 remaining.
Yeah, thank you, Sean, for setting the record straight.
And the problem here, when you're chasing snookers, the tendency is to try to play snookers on every shot. You don't need to do that. Just have a bit of patience.
Foul.
He's unlucky to knock the yellow in, but he didn't need to play that shot there.
Luca Brecel,
Could have just played a safety shot and waited for another opportunity.
Play again.
Back to needing 2 snookers now, after the carnage of the last couple of minutes. He's found a black. That's a great shot. Now if he can pop this black, which is very, very difficult with the rest and the spider.
Spider here.
This is going to be extremely high tariff, but if he can find a way of potting this, as we see this plant that was there in the middle of the table. Couple more reds, couple more blacks. Good chase for snookers, but this has to go in. Well, that is a wonderful shot. Now then, find these 2 reds in the middle of the table with 2 blacks. These colours look in awkward positions, but they're in an excellent setup for snookers.
9. $17.
Marshall, come, please.
So you're just checking the scoreboard here now. 49 behind, pots the pink. 43, that'll mean he'll need 2 snookers, 2 4-point snookers to tie. That's why 2 reds and blacks was vital, because it would have been 2 snookers to win.
So it's highly unlikely now he'd pop this last red, he'd try and get a snooker on it and a
23.
free ball, and then 1 snooker would be sufficient, but it's not ideal to play the snooker and get the red safe.
Ricky Walden, 23.
Well, isn't it incredible? Both players have had good and bad luck in this frame. And that piece of good fortune. Surely the cue ball's not going to go enough here. So what are you doing, Luca?
Luca Brecel 1, Ricky Walden 7.
Shouldn't make any difference, surely.
Frame conceded. Frame
Yes,
Luca
he
Brecel.
was well past the winning line. Oh, look at the top spin and how he arced that cue ball to go in the middle. Incredible. Anyway, it didn't cost him, and he's 2 frames ahead again, 4-2.
Frame 7, Luca Brecel to break.
Frame 7 underway. Felt he could play that pot without too much risk, but didn't really get close to the pot, so may have left a long shot for Luca. Oh, and a super long pot. He's cued some beautiful shots this afternoon. And of course, Sean, we're getting to the stage now of this first session where can someone build up a lead? Someone will be desperate to hang on, ready for the second session tomorrow.
Yeah, they do say these first sessions of these matches are just more like aperitifs, but you don't want to let your opponent run too far off into the distance. You don't mind trailing by a frame, or maybe even a couple, but if Luca were to win these 2 of the last 3 frames of this session... Oh, well, that was a massive bounce off the cushion there. It played for the red above the black. He was on it.
4.
It came off the cushion much quicker than it went on it. Luca could build up a good lead here and break the back of this match. Ricky doesn't want to let him get away. He's not frightened of having a go, Luca, is he?
Luca Brecel 4.
He has left a shot at this red for Ricky if Ricky wants to play it. He can pop this red. Squeeze the cue ball across the table for the black in the same pocket. No, forgive me, he couldn't pop the red. And at what stage, John, now, if you were Luca Brecel with a 2-frame lead, at what stage would you start thinking about tailoring your game and perhaps reining it in a little bit and protecting your lead? Or would you just carry on playing the way you're playing?
I'd carry on the way I was playing. I think whatever got you there is good enough. Obviously, if we came to the last frame of the session, the difference between 6-3 and 5-4, then you might play a sort of no risk. That's what annoys me about football sometimes. You get your team score and then all of a sudden they go on the defensive and give your opponent sort of a bit of hope. So no, I'd carry on the way he's playing, Luke. He's potting well, scoring well. And also, I think you're putting the onus on your opponent to raise his game rather than just let him get away with just playing sort of average snooker. Keep the pressure on. Attack.
Well, you could see on that last graphic there that this match so far has gone in sets of twos. Each player has run their frames in batches of 2 frames, so that would predict Ricky's going to win the next 2 if that's anything to go by. Got that a bit too thick. Might have got away with it here. This red to the left corner is available, but it's extremely difficult, and the black's not available either. Well, having said that, if he could get above the red to the right of this red, he would be on the black. That's very difficult.
On the other hand, I wouldn't want to push the boat out too much. My attack was with a small A.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, Ricky played for yellow or brown there, but it's brown that offers easier position on the next red. Take a little bit of working out this opportunity with the pink cast aside to the left-hand side of the table and the black off its spot. But if you could see there's an area around the black spot. If Ricky could pick the cue ball there at some stage, that would give him access to the black.
5.
And with the black in play, this is a great chance.
Six.
It's okay. The problem
9.
is you're playing this red and it's not a thin shot. If he's trying to get up for a baulk colour, it's not a natural. I mean, if you wanted to take a risk, you could play the pot, try and stun round the back of the black, cannon the red to the left of the black.
I think that's the shot. I think that's the shot to play here. Pot this red over the pocket, stun in behind the black and into the red that's next to the black.
Yeah,
If you miss the cannon, you're going to be on the black anyway.
yeah, and if you play it up for a baulk colour, you might not get there. That's the problem. You play with
10.
topspin, and as soon as it hits that cushion, it's going to check. Maybe missed a trick there.
If Ricky plays the yellow here, the blue is the ball causing the problems. He'd love to stun this in off 2 cushions, but the blue's in the way. So you've got to plain ball this in, avoid the brown. Could have finished
12.
better. Glued to the side cushion. This is very, very awkward. Not easy to get on a colour from there. He'd love to play the red nearest the cue ball if it passed the yellow into the yellow pocket, or even the middle pocket.
I understand it, but if I had one criticism of both players, a couple of times we've mentioned they've had opportunities to break into balls or take a little risk with position, and they've just been happy to take what's there.
14.
Good pot.
13.
Eventually it catches up with you, having to play very precise positional shots.
Now, can he pot the red that's nearest the cue ball and squeeze the cue ball
16.
through for black? If not, he can play the red nearest the pink and maybe play for the pink. Get that back in play. And you can see he's looking at the angle there that leads him to the black. There's a slice of table near the black spot that would leave him black ball position. And he's found it. Nicely
17.
played. And now, having worked so hard for these 17 points, you've got on the black. Make sure you pot it. Yeah, good shot.
76.
24. 25.
28 points to lead.
32.
And Luca won the first two, has won the last
33.
two to get his two-frame advantage. Now, Ricky, when he pots this black, he would be 36 points in front. He can get to Snooker's required without those three reds near the top cushion. So it's a frame-winning opportunity, no doubt.
40. 41.
He's just underscrewed that one, so cue ball's going to be running away from this end of the table now.
48.
44 points to lead. Good angle on green or brown. Should lead him back down for the
49.
reds by the pink spot. That looks perfect.
Fifty-three.
107.
He only needs the red, but he didn't want to be using the rest.
60.
Wouldn't expect him to miss it. But the red to get to Snooker's required.
Right, it's possible, please.
61.
Yeah, nicely played. Now 57 ahead, only 51, so the black for 59, yellow for 59. Oh, and This looks good. No, didn't get the angle off the cushion. Okay, so 59 points the difference.
63.
2 4-point snookers for Luca to tie this frame. So he will carry on.
Ricky Walden, 63.
Well, I thought he'd carry on, but that break of 63 was enough for Luca Brecel to say, Paul, rack the balls up. Ricky Walden did what he had to do. Reduces his arrears to just 1, and he now trails by 4 frames to 3.
Thank you again, Brecel.
Settle down now, please. Okay. The 8th frame, Ricky Walden to break.
Ricky Walden breaks off in frame 8, and this match definitely has a pattern about it. Each player winning in batches of 2 frames, so should probably give this frame to Ricky and play the 9th frame.
Simples. If only it was. It's a good break-off shot. No pot for Luca. No easy return to balk. That's about all he could do. He has left a red to the right middle. I'm not saying Ricky will be tempted, but it's a possibility.
Very nicely picked out.
1.
I'm sure Luca will play the pot on the brown to the left middle. Doesn't usually take a backward step. I don't think that's come far enough. I think he played for the red by the pink into the left middle pocket. So
5.
6 or 7 inches short there.
And just a little bit tentative, wasn't he? The 2 reds just to the left of the black are available. The one closer to the black, he could pot it and maybe release the black. Oh, how's your luck? Well, at
6.
least he's got a shot at the blue, but a little bit closer to the cushion than he would like. If he plays the blue, he's got to avoid the yellow, avoid the enough, maybe. Can he? And get that cue ball in and out of the box. Yeah, just a little short of pace, because he couldn't play it any harder. If you hit that type of shot hard, you get a bigger
11.
throw. Well, he got it off the blue and would probably have cannoned the yellow. So I had to avoid that. It just left him a bit short of pace, but he's still got a pot on. Pot this beyond the black. Clean as a whistle on the black. Great chance.
Well, obviously played
19.
to screw through those reds and disturb everything. Didn't work out, and it's the red closest to the cue ball available to the right middle pocket. He's a little bit fortunate to be on that one. That's tight. That's very tight.
Yeah, it is. I'm just wondering when there's a possibility of a plant. Not the red near the right middle in. Oh, well, it was tight, but it was enough room. Good shot. Set fair now.
Well, if that red by the black pots, you've been very fortunate. He's got the red to the right middle as well. He didn't play for the gap, of obviously.
25.
But to find that gap and beyond choice of reds, it's very, very fortunate indeed.
Needed to avoid the green.
26.
That's why the cue ball's finished close to side cushion. This brown, not easy. I say the brown because the brown will bring you closer to the reds than the yellow would.
Yellow ball.
I'm just watching Ricky in his chair. He was just having a look to see if the cue ball had gone past the blue.
28.
This red to the left-hand corner pocket. And it had just. It's another excellent pot from Luca Brecel.
29.
He keeps losing the cue ball, but he keeps potting them.
I've always been a big fan of the way Luca gets through the cue ball. It's
32.
nice flowing cue action. Just come a little bit awkward at first glance. Oh, but was able to hold the
33.
cue ball for the pink with that little cannon. And now he'll be thinking, chance to open up a lead, win this,
39.
win the last one, take a 3-frame advantage into the final session tomorrow.
40.
But don't run away with yourself. Stay in the moment. Wins this frame, of course. Cannot
46.
be behind going into that final session.
47. $53. Tap. 54.
It's okay. Just pot the pink. Maybe a little stun just to widen the angle, but those two reds just to the right of the pink. Cannon the top one, you'd be on the one below for the red in the same pocket as the pink. Don't overcomplicate it. It's a natural.
There you see it, 60 points ahead, 67 remaining, so just
60.
this red. And Ricky will need snookers. And this has been fabulous.
61. $67.
Had a bit of everything this session so far. Some good tactical play. Some good potting and break
68.
building. The only thing we've not had is a century. Both players have had chances, and this is another one.
Yeah, I'm still not certain if that red just to the right of the black goes into the left
74.
corner.
75.
If it does, then we could get our century. Such is the standard. I always think about what is the
81.
record number of centuries. I'll look it up and let you know in a day or two, but
82.
I think the way I'm looking at the way the balls are going at the moment, I think it could definitely be under threat. Such is the standard of break building. But no century, but that won't bother Luca
82
Brecel.
on the frame.
He's back with a 2-frame advantage and we're looking onwards and upwards. Big final frame of this session. 5-3.
Quietly as you can, please.
Final frame of this session, Luca Brecel to break.
You heard referee Paul Collier call it. Final frame of this session. Now, is it going to be one frame behind Ricky Walden? Or 3 frames in front, Luca Brecel? Big, big difference.
Obviously didn't mean to cannon the green. The brown has come to Ricky's rescue there. Mid-distance red for Luca was on until the cue ball crept in behind the brown. Now Luca's moved everything. And that's a good shot. This looks like trouble.
It does. You do very well here, Ricky, not to leave a pot on. And looking at it, I don't think he can pot his way out of trouble here. Maybe the red that's closest to the top cushion, you could play it and leave the cue ball near the top cushion. Always be wary though, you don't get the double kiss. Just contains the situation for the time being. The dreaded double kiss. You avoided it last time, last visit. Couldn't avoid it that one. You can see the annoyance, such a frustrating thing. All you're doing is trying to leave the cue ball near the top cushion. Get that double kiss and he'll have gone back to his seat thinking, has that cost me this frame? Massive frame that it is.
It's so hard to judge when you're using the long rest and extension like this. It's hard to tell from the player's perspective where the tip is in relation to the cue ball. You often underhit these.
Okay.
Well, he has underhit it. But you'd think with the green being off the spot, it wouldn't be too hard to get the cue ball around the table and back down for probably the red by the blue.
Played it nice.
Six.
The black is available into the right corner. Needs a very precise positional shot, but not seeing certain what other colour he could play for. Well, he's played to be on the blue, but that cue ball is travelling a distance. Got to get in and out of balk.
12.
Controlled that nicely again, but going to have to get back for the blue.
13.
Just top side of it. He could find his way onto the red above the black at some stage, or one of those reds. Would give him a great opportunity to take this frame and a 3-frame advantage into the final session.
That looks perfect.
18. 19.
And it has to be said, this has been quite a contained performance from Luca Brecel this afternoon. Usually a bit of a gunslinger, like, you know, he comes out all guns blazing. He's played some wonderful shots, but he's been on top of himself here this afternoon. He's made very few simple mistakes, kept his emotions in check. He's made some very good decisions at times, a bit of help from his opponent too. But he doesn't look like somebody who's never won a match at the Crucible. And obviously, I put the commentator's curse on him.
26.
Well, he should be very disappointed with that. Okay, he's on this red, but not guaranteed position.
27.
Well, he managed to get into it enough, but he's not recovered the situation just yet. Too thin on this blue.
Well, I was just saying he kept his emotions in check. He gave the side of the table a bit of a rap there with his cue. A bit frustrated with the bounce, and that has led to a mistake. So,
Luca Brecel, 32.
shouts have come on Ricky. I'm sure an unexpected chance for Ricky Walden here. Was staring a 3-frame deficit in the face a minute ago. Now he's a chance to just be one behind.
One.
Now this is where the World Championship tests every facet of your being. Luca will be frustrated, now sat in his chair, angry almost, to have let that opportunity slip. Oh, but Ricky Walden. What a time
Ricky
to miss a
Walden
black
won.
like that. Didn't see this coming, I must admit.
No, me neither, but you hit upon it. It was such a big frame. You know, it goes without saying, you could set that up 100 times and you wouldn't miss it, but it's the circumstances and trying to control the cue ball for position. Could cost him dear.
It's just the significance of it, isn't it? As we see this cue ball perhaps going a bit too far. I think he's going to be okay. It's the significance of that moment, isn't it? Ricky comes to the table. He knows if he can pop that black and somehow nick this frame, the damage that'll do to Brecel, even though he's still behind. The damage it would have done.
7.
It's out of his hands now. Luca Brecel has got the frame not quite at his mercy just yet. But he couldn't have picked that cue ball up and put it anywhere better with his hand. That was a great shot. Now, pop
12.
this red, split the others, black waiting. And 6-3 is on the cards.
13.
Yeah, it's been a very entertaining match. I think overall, I think Luca has been the better player. He's cued the better, but that doesn't always relate to the scoreline. But Ricky, what a chance he missed there. to get within 1 frame at the end
20.
of this session. Needs a
21.
bounce. Well, a little bit short of perfect. Played the cannon. Is he on the red to the right middle? Looking at his body language, he is.
28.
And that gets him to
29.
snooker's required. 60 points to lead, 59 remaining, but not for long.
$36. 37.
Oh, he's run out of position. It won't matter. 75 points to lead. No way back to the
44.
tail for Ricky Walden. He's going to have to stew on that miss black from this frame. He'll be disappointed, but out goes the hand. Said, I'll see you tomorrow. So I think a justified scoreline. I think Luca Brecel has been the better player, but it's what might have been for Ricky Walden. Luca Brecel leads 6-3.